All right, y'all, what this is right here, this is a 6-foot flexible auger drill bit, right? Now, they make different sizes, different lengths or whatever. This is a 6-foot one. They also make extensions that fit into the end of these. So you can make it another 5 feet. I have another 5-foot one, just an extension that'll fit into the end, make it even longer. I have no idea where it is, but the crazy part is that I have this one here and I never use it. And you ask why? It's a strong word, man. We got to learn in this business called liability. Now, let me show you why this tool could cause you a problem. All right, so there's a reason why I don't use this drill bit. Now, there's a lot of people that do. I don't want to act like it has no use, no purpose. There's a lot of times when this would be a good option, just not really for me. Now, if you don't know what these little flexible auger bits do, let me just show you real quick. You see, I was installing some recessed lights, and this one over here goes all the way down to this next one over here, right? So the idea of using this would just be, all I would need to do is maybe cut the hole for the light, right? And you don't always have to have one this long. Wouldn't necessarily need this in every situation, but you would take this up, drill through the hole, or drill through the joist, and then while it's in that one hole, this thing is not here. This hole cut out would just be, I wouldn't need to cut it out. I could just go from joist to joist to joist and keep drilling. And this whole thing bends, like it's flexible, so I can bend it and kind of direct it through the hole and get to the next one and drill through. Now, I've done that before, right? So I know you're thinking like, well, that's so easy, man. It makes it so much more simple. You don't have to fix drywall or nothing. What's the problem? Let me learn you real quick. Now, that's the idea. You start with the light and then you drill through the first hole, right? You would drill through there. It will bring you back to this one. And you drill through that. It will bring you back to this next one. You would drill through that. But hold up, you're in for a surprise. Because when I lift this insulation up, what's that? Oh, we have some nice wire in there. Got a nice cable wire and a nice 12 gauge wire sitting right in there. Now, notice where my hole is, right? I'm not way down here in the joist. I'm kind of almost to the middle of the joist. Man, I would have ran right through those wires. Now, I didn't run through those wires because I didn't do that, right? I cut the hole. Yes, inconvenient, but I cut the hole and I checked everywhere. And guess what? I found wires. And why are those wires there? I don't know. But here's one thing I do know is that if I don't know what's there, I can't just blindly drill through it. Now, you might have a room where you're like, there shouldn't be anything there. And guess what? If it's your house, you can do that. But for anybody who's running a business like me, liability is a strong word, man. It's a strong word. So just to save time on doing the drywall, I would have drilled through here, destroyed both those wires, and then it's a whole thing because there's not an attic above here. I know you're thinking there's insulation here, so there must be an attic, but actually no. There's a finished attic. So there's an attic where it was an attic, and then they got the attic finished. So now there's a floor up above this insulation. And that's part of the problem is people renovate houses. People do things to houses. People make changes all the time. So originally, this wire probably wasn't there. But how am I supposed to know that, right? Let me show you another example, a picture of something real quick. I'm gonna show you a wall that I did a while ago and some issues that may come up. Sometimes you just never know. All right, look, this right here was a feature wall that I did a long time ago, but you see all the things going on this wall. So this is what I wanted to show you though, point out. I had to put this trim around here, hanging the waterfall, hanging the fireplace, adding some lights and whatever, and switches and outlets and whatever, right? Now, let me let you see it before I started. We're gonna go back there. Now, this is what it looked like when I first started, right? So Blank wall, nothing here, just 2 outlets. Now, up here, this ceiling above me, that ceiling is just a hallway, right? So if I was to turn the camera around, you'd see they got one of those 2-story living rooms, you know, wide open. So this is an open staircase that's right above me in this picture. So there's no water like directly above me. But if I was standing upstairs looking straight ahead like I am now, the same direction, I'd be standing in front of a bathroom. But of course, it'll be the bathroom door. It'll be the bathroom door, not, you know, where all the shower and everything else is. To get to that, that's on this wall around this corner. That's where what I would consider the wet wall for the bathroom is, around this corner. Oh, so let me show you something here. So now, here is a picture of the wall once I cut it open, because I always do, right? You see my hieroglyphics all over the wall is where I'm gonna put different things. This is for outlets where I couldn't put. I had to move stuff around, you know, but I also had to figure out, once I cut the wall open, I found some things. Man, I found a drain, the drain line inside of this wall. I was not expecting that. There's also 2 water lines. So this whole wall has everything that's going up to the shower upstairs, but it's not above this wall. So I would have never thought that it was going to be in this wall, right? Because they would have to take it up the wall, turn it, go around the corner, and then go into the bathroom. I don't know what the situation was because I wasn't there when the house was built, but I just wouldn't have expected it to be here. On the other side of this wall is the garage. So on both walls, here on this wall and then around the corner, it's the garage there. So why they had to do it, I didn't go into crawl space. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but I'm just saying, you never know, right? Sometimes you just have to open stuff up. You can't go in a lot of situations. You just can't go in blind, right? Man, it might be to your detriment. Now, when it comes to any kind of elevated work, right? I mean, including roofing, siding, painting. I don't care if you're doing crown molding. I mean, whatever you're doing, you're insulating, whatever that's high up, vents, all that. You gotta think about the liability in this situation. I don't know how many times I've had somebody call me and say they had one shingle blow off. One shingle. They want to pay me $50 to go up on the roof and put it back on. For a roofer, that might be nothing. They might say $75, man, they're done in 2 seconds. Me, dude, I'm like, man, like on the roof, looking like I'm in the Matrix, but dude, my balance shot. I don't do roofs anymore. It's not worth it to me, especially not from a liability standpoint, because if I do something on a roof for $75 or $125, $150, and I fall, what difference does it make? You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're extremely, like I said, you're a roofer or somebody who's really confident and knows what you're doing and all that, and it's just what you do is second nature. Hey man, do what you want, of course. I'd never stop a grown man or grown woman from whatever they're gonna do. But what I am saying is that if that's not really your thing, or you don't like to do it, like for me, some reason, I don't know what it is, I don't mind heights when I'm inside the house, right? I don't care. Even though I used to do that. I used to be up there doing drilling fills, with insulation, way up 20, 25 feet on a Victorian style house. Just not even caring, on an extension ladder, like it was nothing. Nowadays, it bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I used to be doing gutters and all that back in them days. Now, I don't do none of it because for me, it's just not worth the risk. Let me show you something that I caught a video of. I was leaving a job and I saw a video of this. This is all I could think of when a customer tells me, hey, I had one piece of soffit just blew off in the wind. I need you to come put it back up. It's just one piece though. All it is one piece. I'm thinking, man, do you know what it took to get that piece up there? Crazy stuff, but hey, ain't gonna be me. So I just wanted you to see this picture, right? This picture of a shower that I was working on, and I put a couple grab bars in. It's in another video you'll be seeing soon. But what I wanted to get you to understand is why something like grab bars can be a big liability. So that when you install grab bars, you can't look at it like it's just, I'm just hanging a picture on a wall or something. Now, luckily, this is tile, right? And as you see up here, the tile doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. So I'm able to just go right across. I might even have it up here. You see me right here? I'm able to just go and find the studs and then use a laser and project the line down onto the wall for where all the studs are and put tape there and whatever. Now, here's the thing. Luckily, this tile was installed with cement board, right? So if you think about it like this, like if you have cement board, it's very solid. The layer of cement board plus thin set plus the tile, you can just anchor things right to the cement board from behind with a large anchor. You could probably get away with just using a toggle bolt. Like usually I use the snap toggle bolts. Those things are wonderful. But with something like this, I can get into the studs, right? Now imagine that it's ran all the way to the ceiling. The tiles ran all the way to the ceiling. Now, sometimes the stud finder can still find the studs, but sometimes it struggles, right? Now, add this to the factor. Now, a lot of the showers, they're not using cement board anymore. There's a lot of times now they're using the foam behind the tile. I'm sorry, but for me, I don't care what kind of anchor I use. I can use the biggest, most giant anchor and get it behind there, and I just don't know if it's gonna hold, if it's gonna have that same strength with foam. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't trust it. And for me, it's a deal breaker. So normally, if I don't know the cement board behind it, I just won't do it. Or if I can't get to the studs, I won't do these jobs. This is the kind of things that I'm talking about. Like grab bars, I charge a premium for grab bars because of that. Because the risk that you're taking, if things go wrong, man, like you don't want to be charging cheap for these kind of jobs because of the liability factor. Another thing people think should be cheap for some reason, and it seems like maybe it should. But when you start looking at the liability portion of it, it's a problem. And that's drilling holes. We was talking about the showers, like I'm talking about countertops. You know, I have a lot of people that call me because they're getting those reverse osmosis systems put in, but the plumber won't cut a hole in that countertop. And I completely understand why. Completely understand why, right? Even though I've cut holes, I've taken, put in cooktops where it didn't fit, so I had to cut the hole bigger for the cooktop. And I've done a lot of things like that. But I also charge a premium for something like that. So think of it like somebody wants me to cut one of those holes for a faucet in the countertop. I had somebody call me, matter of fact, and they said it was quartz. They had quartz countertop. Man, a $5,000 countertop. And I come over there for the bare minimum and cut your hole and the countertop cracks. Then what do? You crack the countertop. Now you just bought a $5,000 countertop that you did the job was $100 or something. It's crazy. And I'm not about to go out of business because I decided that I was gonna drill this hole for a cheap price for you because you didn't think it should cost that much. Come on, man. You better start thinking like, dude, a reverse osmosis system? If you can afford to get the reverse osmosis system put in and all that, you can pay extra for a hole in the countertop. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's the way y'all think, but that's the way I think. So, all right. So the last thing is about your insurance. Here's the thing, man. So many people use insurance like it's some kind of get out of jail free card, or they think that their insurance, it's just that they have it. So whatever happens, they'll just be able to use the insurance, right? If something goes wrong. Well, here's the issue. I don't even understand, like people see it so much differently than regular insurance. Like you have car insurance, homeowners insurance. People I know that they've had a claim or two too much and then they just get booted off their insurance. And now they can't get any other insurance and they got to go to, like, I'm not gonna say no names, but they got to go to some of these dirt cheap insurance companies that you see on the commercials that have that don't hardly give you any money. There's hardly any coverage. When I do commercial work, a lot of times I need to have at least $1 million in coverage, or sometimes 2. And I can get that because my insurance rating, I'm good. I never had a claim, but like I said, money paid every month. I'm good with insurance, right? But if I have some kind of massive claim all of a sudden where I done flooded a house, or I done blew up half the electric in somebody's house, so they got to get all the electric put in or something, do something crazy. Because I've had things go wrong on jobs, but I've either been able to fix them myself, or I've had enough money to just pay somebody to come and do it, and I haven't had to involve insurance. And like I said, it's not all the time that it happens. Every once in a while, just something will come up. I had a comment on a video I did about cutting through ceilings and walls through the drywall, right? And you know, I use the little drywall cutting tool now that Makita has, but before that, I also perfected using a multi-tool and kind of turning it sideways and letting it glide like right through, cut through the drywall like that. But then somebody also said, you gotta be careful using a multi-tool because so many people are using PEX now, and that multi-tool cuts through PEX like butter. And they weren't lying. That was the absolute truth. And you know, I never really thought about it like that. There's liability in everything you do, right? So maybe it was worth it. I wasn't thinking that when I got the drywall cutout tool, but man, paying $350 for this tool to stop me from cutting through PEX that I might not be thinking about, it might be worth the $350 you pay for it because you can set the depth and you never have to worry about it. Those are the kind of decisions you're gonna have to make if you get into one of these businesses, all right? Liability is huge, huge. And a lot of people put themselves out of business because they just don't take the precautions. You know, the job might take a little longer, but I'll still be in business. You know what I'm saying? So, Daryl, also known as the finisher, stay safe, be blessed, and remember, if the trades don't work, nothing else does.